as always. There was an article I read yesterday. I forget who wrote it. You can Google it. You can search it. But the title was "The Biggest Losers from the Decline in Gold." The biggest losers. And I made the list. I think there was only 5 people on the list. It was pretty short, but I was labeled as one of the 5 biggest losers in the country from the drop in the price of gold. Now, I don't think it was necessarily focusing on monetary losers, as if I had enough gold and gold stocks that my losses qualified me to be one of the top 5 losers. I mean, I do have a lot of money in gold stocks and silver and gold and silver stocks, and I did lose millions on paper in the decline, but that would hardly qualify me. There are people that have a lot more money than me that have a lot more. As I said, if you have your money in Apple stock, you lost more in the decline in Apple shares potentially. Well, not necessarily the percentage decline, but the market cap. More people collectively lost in Apple. I've never seen an article about the biggest losers in the decline of Apple, but I suppose that they were referring to my reputation, that I've lost my reputation. Also, Ron Paul was on that list because, of course, Ron Paul has advocated gold, and so somehow, because gold has dropped, 15, 20% from its high, 15% this year, we've lost our reputations. I mean, gold's gone from 260 to 1,900. Guys like Ron Paul and me have been advocating gold the whole time. And now somehow we have a decline. Talking about gold being off 15%. It's still up like 500%. But instead of focusing on how much it's up from the lows, all they want to talk about is how much it's down from the highs. And because gold has corrected, tell me any market, any bull market that doesn't have corrections, even sharp corrections. Think about all the corrections the stock market has had. What about the 87 crash? That was like 25% decline in Dow in one day. That was a lot bigger than the drop in gold. Yet, did that mean that the people who have been recommending stocks for the long term, did they lose their reputations in the 87 decline? But the fact is that, they want to use this to discredit people who have been critics of the Federal Reserve, of the quantitative easing, of the money printing, who do believe in sound money, as if this one decline in the price of gold discredits everything that we've been saying all these years, despite the fact that nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. Nobody knows if this is the top of the gold market or another correction in an ongoing bull market. What if gold goes to 2,000 or 2,500? What does that mean? Were we the biggest losers out? Somebody could say that temporarily, maybe some more people will begin to doubt some of the things that we've said, because they might be able to say, well, look, the gold price is going down, so that invalidates what you've been saying. But I think the only people that are going to say that are the people who have been discounting what I've been saying or what Ron Paul's been saying all these years anyway. I don't think anybody that really believes in the principles that we espouse and that we stand for is going to have their minds changed because the price of gold is off its record highs. Look at where it's come from. Look at what's happened all these years. What about the reputations of the people who were saying, don't buy gold, it's overvalued, when it was at 400 and 500 and 700 and 800 and 1,000 and 1,200? Now, somehow, talk about a broken clock. Why is it that I'm a broken clock? If I get out and I predict a housing collapse for several years, I'm a broken clock, right? Even though I was early. But the people who have been saying that gold was a bad investment, it was going to go down, and they've been saying it for the last 10 years, now suddenly they're geniuses because the price of gold has come down from a record high that they said would never happen in the first place. If you've been bearish on gold from 300 up to 1,900, you can't do a victory lap now because it's at 1,350. You can't come out and say, aha, you see, I told you so. Those idiots like Peter Schiff were wrong. Guys like Ron Paul were wrong. I mean, it looks ridiculous, yet the media doesn't want to call them out on that. Let me go